Today in crypto. Cross-chain liquidity protocol THORChain has fully recovered from two summer exploits that compromised millions of dollars in user funds. The company announced Thursday that it had received passing grades in a new security audit. The simultaneous audits, which were carried out by cybersecurity companies Trail of Bits and Halborn, allowed THORChain to implement a 5-step recovery plan. THORChain's contributors now say the protocol is fully operational after a restart brought all the major cryptocurrency integrations and cross-chain trading features back online. Continue reading on Cointelegraph. The military genre was always popular in the gaming industry. Most probably, because it features well-liked video gaming mechanics in one. Shooting as well as vehicles/aircraft operating. Also, the psychological aspect plays a big role in their popularity too. For instance, players get to try virtually what they cannot do in real life. Evolution of tanks in video games. Tanks as gaming characters figured in the video game industry almost from the very beginning. For example, one of the first appearances was tank mode in combat for Atari 2600 as well as in its clones. Yes. Developers didn't bother to come up with sophisticated names for games at that time. Usually, the point of the game was to eliminate the opponent's tank faster than they destroy yours. At that time, the maximum computing power of consoles allowed for only 2 tanks on the screen. Not to mention that the graphics were oversimplistic. Later, the concept was taken over by Brick Game. Usually, different variations of this retro handheld console featured Tetris, Arkanoid, Space Invaders, and of course tanks. The third generation of gaming consoles scaled up tank games. Namco was the main frontiersman of 8-bit tank games. Their Battle City on Famicom introduced advanced graphics, constructor mode, protecting one's own command base, and more tanks on the screen. The game was based on arcade game Tank Battalion. Unfortunately, Battle City didn't leave Japan. The already mentioned Japanese video gaming developer and publisher Namco, which later became the well-known Bandai Namco, continued the Tank series. The next 2D military vehicle game became Tank Force. It took the best from its predecessor and scaled it up to the possible best in terms of mechanics, gameplay variety, and graphics. The game was even released on cocktail table arcade machines. The 5th generation of gaming consoles shifted the focus from 2D to 3D games. Now 2D indie projects are booming, but at the time, they were considered outdated. The only successful one was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. However, it was an exception to the rule. On the other hand, Tokyo Wars was no exception. Arcade tank games moved into 3 dimensions as well. The innovation of this milestone was the arcade cabinet with a seat and steering wheel. Although real tanks are operated with turning levers, the cabinet provided more realism than ever possible at that time. Of course, PlayStation 1 had a lot of Panzer games, but they all were similar to Tokyo Wars in their concepts. In the 2000s, video gaming trends shifted into maximum realism. Moreover, the first-person shooter genre was given a new lease on life with such World War II military games as Call of Duty, Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Brother in Arms, and so on. Hence, tanks as gaming vehicles appeared there quite often. At the end of the decade, the initiative was taken by Tank that returned the genre back to a more entertaining and bizarre-looking direction. This was done by Namco again in 2009. The arcade machine was with seats and supported multiplayer as usual. World of Tanks games featuring tanks as gaming characters have come a long way. However, one common feature of those games was multiplayer. From Atari 2600, through Famicom, until the arcade era, games required at least 2 players in order to have a full-fledged experience. Although World of Tanks set in place the realistic visuals, the game scaled up the multiplayer features. Finally, tanks switched from the FPS to MMO genre, which means that up to 30 players can fight on one map. Being a massive multiplayer online game suited the military setting perfectly, hence World of Tanks gained huge popularity. Now, it's in the top 20 of the most played games with approximately 170k players daily. Realistic military games caught a second wind on the waves of massive online free-to-play games including World of Warships, War Thunder, and World of Warplanes. However, the tanks disseminated most widely. A step into blockchain and NFT technologies seem like the next step in tank game evolution. Tanks on blockchain, Spider tanks, crypto tanks, tanks. THORChain. If you wondered why I dedicated half of this article to tank military games, you'll be surprised to spot how the history runs in circles here. Such gaming projects but on a blockchain tend to get inspiration from things that have already been invented. Crypto tanks. This game is the ideological successor of the original Battle City and Tank Battalion from Famicom and arcade machines, with an 8-bit visual style. In the recently released promo trailer, the developers even used a remix version of the original soundtrack from Battle City in order to stress the game's origins. Every tank is an NFT, which means you literally own the vehicle. And even if the game stops existing, tanks will stay in your wallet. So far, there are 20 available pixelated machines inspired from real prototypes from such countries as Germany, Poland, Russia, and China. Tanks' unique characteristics include chassis, guns, and armor. Spider tanks. This game is a part of the raucous Gaelic Games ecosystem. The genre of spider tanks is PvP brawler, also known as beat 'em up. Usually, brawler games are fights with one character hurling back hordes of enemies, like Double Dragon, Final Fight, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the arcade machines. If you think about it critically, Battle City is a brawler as well. However, the usage of tank long-range artillery shifted gameplay mechanics from pure action into action strategy. Spider tanks was also inspired by the 8-bit tanks, but scaled up the visuals and gameplay variety. Thus, it's the much advanced version of the previous blockchain game. In the same way, all tank parts are NFTs. Players can purchase separately upper and lower parts of the vehicles, cannons, artillery, etc. There are even chicken and scorpion tanks available for special kinds of game modes. In general, their selection is typical for MMO games, PvP, deathmatch, capture the flag. On the other hand, the mode called Capture the Chicken definitely brings something new. The game is available in beta. The final release date is scheduled for the fourth quarter of 2021. Thanks for playing. Such an interesting wordplay is used for the full-fledged strategy game in the military tank setting. Unfortunately, this project is one we know the least about among all the others mentioned today. Considering the concept, tanks for playing is similar to well-known Nintendo's Advance Wars, which is a military turn-based strategy with similar visuals. So far, the gameplay has not been revealed. All we know is that the game will be a turn-based strategy as well, with active multiplayer and cooperation. The launch of beta is announced for December 2021. On the flip side, the development of AAA level games on a blockchain is still risky, as the technology is relatively new and unaccepted by the majority of traditional gamers. AAA blockchain games are rare cases. Blockchain gaming is a relatively young industry. Of course, development has advanced and is no longer in the embryonic stages of its evolution. However, as the technology is new and not widely accepted, developers of such games tend to keep away from complicated games. That's why most gaming projects on the blockchain look like mobile games or pixel art indies. The playable AAA game on a blockchain is Blanco's Block Party. The other ones like Illuvium or Stormlight are still in development, so it's too early to draw any conclusions about their quality. Why does it happen though? First of all, small developers cannot sponsor AAA games on their own. The average cost of a top-notch game is between $60 million and $80 million. Secondly, as the industry is quite young, big investors are yet to go all in. Blockchain games are still projects based on enthusiasm and great confidence in the technology. That's why World of Tanks on a blockchain with crypto probably won't happen soon. Why you should care? On the other hand, the blockchain gaming industry is extremely promising. Axie Infinity and Gaelic Games are live examples that the success of crypto games is possible in the right place with the right product. Therefore, there are still a lot of unoccupied niches within the industry. An open-world military MMO game is one of them. Sooner or later, the game will be created either by Wargaming themselves or by any other studio. Email newsletter. Join to get the flip side of crypto. Upgrade your inbox and get our daily coin editors picks 1x a week delivered straight to your inbox. Contact Form 7. You can always unsubscribe with just one click. Continue reading on Daily Coin. Cream Finance is the latest Ethereum DeFi protocol to suffer another hack. The attackers had used a flash loan attack and made away with $130 million. Cream Finance confirmed the attack via Twitter, where the project revealed that they were investigating the cause of the hack. The exploit had exposed vulnerabilities in the protocol's lending pools, which had to be shut down to protect users. A follow-up tweet from the project had confirmed that the attackers had indeed made off with approximately $130 million from the hack. The hack occurred on October 27 at 13:54 UTC and impacted only the lending liquidity pools. All other markets were unaffected, as it seemed the vulnerabilities were only present in these pools. Related reading: Cream Finance identified the wallets where the perpetrator had transferred the tokens, although there has been no mention of confirming the identity of the attackers. And given the track record of hacks in the crypto space, their identity will most likely remain anonymous. This is not the first time Cream Finance has succumbed to an exploit on its protocol. As a matter of fact, this marks the third successful exploit on the Cream Finance protocol. The first hack had occurred in February this year, when attackers successfully made away with $37.5 million worth of coins. Subsequently, the price of Cream had tumbled 20% as news of the hack made the rounds. Related reading: Grayscale discount hints at spot Bitcoin ETF denial. Then in August, Cream Finance had again suffered another hack. This time, the protocol lost $29 million to the attackers. The attackers had exploited a bug introduced when the AMP token was introduced into Cream Finance's protocol. Blockchain security firm PeckShield had also reported this exploit and called attention to the bug. The latest Cream Finance is the third largest DeFi exploit in history. Poly Network and Compound Finance still hold the record for the first and second highest DeFi exploit respectively. Following the hack, the price of Cream tanked 27%. The digital asset is still struggling to recover as the community awaits further updates from the team. Shiba Inu is arguably one of the most talked about cryptocurrencies in the space now. The meme coin had managed to crawl out of growing obscurity to the forefront of the crypto market. While the broader market has suffered alongside top cryptocurrency Bitcoin, Shiba Inu has had other plans. Carving out its own growth pattern, the value of the asset had rallied to a new all-time high on Wednesday. Its break above $0.0004 and the subsequent crash had led the market to believe that the rally would be short-lived. SHIB had promptly fallen back to range $0.0003 range after hitting its new all-time high. But going against expectations, it had resumed its rally again, and this time, its price had once again doubled, peaking above $0.0008. SHIB's price, in addition to its total supply, has pushed the coin into the top 10 cryptos and past its rival Dogecoin. Related reading: Why Shiba Inu, SHIB, rallied 266% following biggest dump in its history. Shiba Inu's entry into the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap has put it in a position where it has to square up to bigger projects. One problem for SHIB remains its lack of use cases. Pushing past Dogecoin, which has been in the top 10 for a while, means that the project will have to evolve if it wishes to retain its prestigious position. Doge used its application as a payment option for its use case expansion. It remains to be seen what SHIB will use to cement its place in the top 10. The meme coin's price has although not faltered in the face of its lack of use cases. In what looks to be a hype-fueled market, SHIB's price has maintained its upward momentum for over 3 weeks. The primary pull towards the altcoin has been the massive returns. It has returned over 1,000% gains in its recent rally, and the push for $0.001 has continued. The Shiba Inu community has continued to push for listing on Robinhood. Public.com, a direct competitor to Robinhood, had listed the meme coin last week in light of increased demand. However, there is still no word from Robinhood regarding the listing of the asset. As the market awaits the trading platform's decision, an interesting development occurred in the valuation of the two assets. Related reading: Shiba Inu, SHIB, jumps 50% to ATH amid Robinhood rumors. SHIB's rally caused the total valuation of the asset to surpass $40 billion. This has helped it beat out coins like Dogecoin and DOT to move upwards on the crypto top 10. But these are not the only notable projects Shiba Inu has surpassed. Robinhood, on which the meme coin is yet to be listed, is only worth $30 billion. This means that SHIB's valuation is greater than that of Robinhood. Multi-chain transaction network Biconomy has concluded a public token sale of its Pico cryptocurrency, onboarding more than 12,500 new token holders in the process, the company announced Thursday. The public sale, which was facilitated by token listing platform CoinList, raised a cumulative $11.5 million. More than 850,000 people registered for the sale, which was the largest waitlist on CoinList to date. The sale took place on October 14 via two options of 40 million and 10 million Pico tokens. Continue reading on Cointelegraph. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.